I'd like to visit with you again about the subject of people. We've talked about people in Motorola over better than 50 years. Each time we talk about it, the story is essentially the same, but it deserves to be revisited from time to time to reinforce our purposes and our values. When you and I come to work each morning, we come as individuals. Once we're here, we become united under a single purpose. The most unifying force is our interest in serving our customer. When we work together to provide a product or a service that customer appreciates because of the value that we brought to it, we have achieved our institutional purpose. So we have a unifying and an institutional reason for our coming together as individuals. It is our emphasis on you and I being individuals that is at the core of our people's value and story. Right from the beginning, Motorola has attempted to demonstrate its respect for individuals. We bring our personality, our character, and our special skills. And each of these have brought a great value to the total that is our institution. We seek to demonstrate this by our respect for the dignity of each individual, the recognition that each one of us is equally important, and that whatever the values are that we bring are individually distinctive and add to the whole. My father demonstrated this in so many interesting ways in the very early days. I remember when I was just a youngster in the company, and I was witness to a decision that was made by some of the then officers, all of whom were very good people. And when the decision was made, and because it did affect the people in the factory, my father said to one of the finer officers, "Go down and ask Mary Qualiza what she thinks about this." Mary Qualiza was then one of the old-timers of the company. She worked in the coil winding department and had been with the company for almost 10 years. The officer thought, well, that wasn't an essential thing to do, and protested in a mild way to my father, but my father insisted. And so, after a day, the officer came back and reported to my father. "I saw Mary, as you suggested, yesterday afternoon, and I described to her what we were planning to do. I asked her what she thought of the idea, and she said she appreciated the fact that she was asked her opinion, and she appreciated that the intention was that the program we were thinking of was meant to be in her interest and the best interest of the other ladies and the men in the plant. But she said with some apologies that maybe it wasn't going to be quite as good for her and a couple of the others as we thought." Very promptly, the subject was revisited, the plan was modified, and it was better for the company and for Mary Qualiza and all others, because there was a demonstration of respect for what Mary represented as an individual and all her friends whose opinions were somewhat similar. Maybe this was even the beginning, without our realizing it, of the culture of our teaming together, our involving more and more of us in the affairs of our company. The roots were in our respect for the dignity of the individual. We individuals end up staying here for years and years, and we have a special respect for those that have devoted such a long part of their life and become the senior members of our total group of people. Finally, we're even old enough now to where a fair number of people are celebrating long anniversaries and even retirement. And it's very heartening to see the respect that friends and all show to these people who have served so long and ultimately moved to that well-deserved opportunity of the fun of active retirement. In order to provide the finest opportunity for all people, we've had to take some active programs in order to move everyone into the same realm of respect and opportunity. In this marvelous constitutional society that we live in so many of the countries where Motorola exists, we've come to an enlightened attitude of affirmatively taking action in the interest of some people who may not have had all of the advantages that others of us have had. Equal opportunity is an important expression of our interest in the welfare and the dignity of the individual. Each of us have our native talents. Many of us have had the opportunity for extensive training. Some have not had that privilege. In order that the individual can enhance his or her competence, training, development are a very important part of our people program. Recently, we have augmented the opportunities for training and development because we consider this to be an important investment of the individual's time and our company's resources, that each one of us in our respective jobs will develop the ability to be the equal or the better of those who are employed in our competitive institutions who are seeking to serve our same customers. One can't operate this philosophy of respect in a vacuum. There has to be an open, active environment. There has to be an openness of interest and communication. And we work to enhance that, even though the corporation keeps growing and there are more and more of us who must interface. Communications is essential to you and I. Within our family, we keep in touch. Within our company, we must keep informed. We must share with each other that which is essential so that the others and ourselves can perform our function in the interest of the customer. But it's so easy in a large institution to lose the touch of good communications. We've tried hard to enhance even the methodologies of communications in recent years with our various teaming and involvement programs, the various meetings, and the time available that is devoted to attempting to enhance communications. At another recent time, I have recorded a special message on that subject, our people involvement programs. I hope that you'll devote a little time to reviewing that as well, because it's such an essential part of our open environment so that the individual can participate in each of the activities of his department and the solutions of problems and the raising of important issues. This opportunity to communicate is an opportunity to contribute to our own satisfaction and to the solutions of the problems of interest to our customers. When we do well, we deserve to be rewarded. It is very much a part of our people program that all Motorola people, in their respective responsibilities, be compensated fairly. Salary, benefit, and even in certain kinds of activities, where possible, with incentive compensations. It is important that we satisfy our income purposes as well as our psychological benefits and rewards that we get from the achievements and that which we contribute as individuals. Over the course of many months to come, there will be a series of communications events that will unfold before you with regard to this issue of communications, with regard to this issue of people, and I direct your attention to them. Some of them will be built around our program of and our publication of For Which We Stand. This is the simple outline of the basic values and the basic purposes and objectives of the corporation. At the core of it are the people and the communications programs. I urge that you give serious attention to them, and that as you look upon the content of all that unfolds before you, that there is a rededication to the values that are espoused in each one of the subjects, but most particularly that there is a rededication to our values of people relationships, which has made this company distinctive from so many others. I thank you for what you've done to bring your character and your competences and your personal skill relationships into the Motorola institution that has made this a distinctive company before our customers and will for a long, long time to come do the same. Thank you.